We've spent over 10 years on air, shaping a generation of action motorsports, and now we're changing the game again. The best motorsports, the best action sports, and the best of pop culture with some epic guests thrown in. I am Jim Beaver, and this is the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki. Hold on tight, the misadventure is just getting started. Welcome to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki. And it is Friday, which means we have another Supercross Special to drop into the feed for you guys. It's a cut-to-the-chase interview with one of the top guys in Supercross. And this week, this one doesn't disappoint. Jeremy Martin, 250 East racer, been around for a long time, won championships in outdoors, also been on the Supercross scene for a better part of a decade. Stoked to finally have Jeremy Martin on the show. Been a long time coming after a decade plus, but yeah, Jeremy going to be my guest this week on this Supercross Special. Supercross in action in Atlanta this weekend. This one, I always love the Atlanta track because, they change it up. It's been host of a Triple Crown in the past, but they run it at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's not an indoor, stadium show at like a baseball park or a football stadium. No, this is at Atlanta Motor Speedway. They take the entire front stretch of the NASCAR track. They turn it into a Supercross track, very much similar to what happens at Daytona, and I'm really excited to talk about Atlanta and have Jeremy Martin on the track. I think this is one that caters to his riding style really well, so I think he's a great guest this week in our Supercross Special. So Supercross winding down. What do we got? Atlanta this weekend, New Jersey, and that East-West shootout. I think we got Denver, Salt Lake City. Might be missing around, but I think we got at least those 4 rounds left, and then we're going to call it a season on Super. Oh, Nashville! Can't forget, we got Nashville in the mix as well. So we got definitely some big events coming up yet to come. But yeah, Supercross kind of winding down as we start and switch gears for outdoors. But Jeremy Martin, my guest this week on this Supercross Special. So, yes, other big shows. Obviously, did a sit-down with the Martelli brothers last week, dropped a best of with my good friend, gamer, influencer, Sydney Goodman. You don't want to miss that one. And big one coming up in the feed right after I drop this here within the next day. We have my good friend, Anna Glennon, a.k.a. Jet Girl, one of the top female jet ski racers in the world. She's going to be on the show. And we are debuting our new video format as well. So go over to YouTube, Jim Beaver 15. Follow me on YouTube, and you're going to start getting these shows in video form. They're already on YouTube in audio form, but we're bringing the full video component to it, and stoked about that. So Anna Glenn and Jet Girl are going to debut that new format right here on the General Tire Jim Beaver Show. Before we cut to the break, though, and jump into this interview with Jeremy Martin, also want to mention our partners at General Tire. Right now, through the end of April, big-time savings with General Tire on select tires. If you buy 4 of them, you know what you get? You can get up to a $70 rebate for buying 4 qualifying General Tires now through the end of April. You want to get in on that? Go down in the footnotes of the show. Doesn't matter where you're listening or watching the show. Definitely go into the footnotes of the show. You're going to see a link to General Tire Savings. Click that link. It's going to tell you how to get, bam, $70 back when you buy a qualifying set of General Tire. So that being said, it's time to take a short commercial break. We come out of this break. It's going to be Jeremy Martin talking about Atlanta and Supercross when we turn right here to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki. Making the most of every moment can be demanding, which is why at General Tire, we think you should demand more from your tires. For more than a century, we've made great all-around tires that always deliver the right combination of performance, durability, style, and value. Whether you're looking at the ultra-high-performance summer tires for your street rod or the best-in-class all-weather tire for your family crossover, General Tire delivers for those who demand more from their tires. Find your fit at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of the Jim Beaver Show.
Conditions off the pavement are always changing, so why settle for a light bar that just turns on and off? The Rigid Adapt is a revolutionary new light bar that will automatically select from 8 beam patterns that range from a widespread 90-degree flood to a 15-degree spot based on your vehicle's speed. Try that with your knockoff light bar. A dash-mounted controller allows the user to toggle between adaptive mode, beam patterns, and RGBW accent lighting. With Adapt, it's easier than ever to own the night.
When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more. Like what you're hearing? Do us a favor and head over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki and never miss another show. Welcome back to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show. Catching up now with Jeremy Martin, who currently has a big track in Atlanta in front of him. What's happening, Jeremy?
Hey, man, we're just here. Actually just pulled up to Atlanta and checking out the venue for the first time, and the place is pretty badass looking.
I know. Atlanta's one of those fun ones that you kind of shake it up a little bit, and I feel like you're an outdoors guy. I mean, we all know you love the outdoors. I feel like tracks like this and kind of Daytona, it's like a mix-up. You get a little bit of an outdoor feel with Supercross. I mean, not full outdoors, but, long stretches, things like that, changes it up a bit.
Yeah, it's nice to change it up. Obviously, it's going to be a day race tomorrow, so I'm not mad about that. Usually come 9 o'clock, 9:15 when the 250 main event drops. I'm usually in bed, man. So I'm excited to have the main event be a little bit earlier tomorrow. And it's going to be, like you said, a little bit more open, and the dirt should be really, really good here. So I'm cranked up for tomorrow. Yeah,
do you approach it, with a change up in the track? Than what you're used to traditionally in Supercross, something like this, when they throw something at you a little bit different. You approach the weekend or your riding style heading into it a little bit different.
You might change your gearing a little bit. Obviously, with it being a little bit more high speed, longer straightaways and stuff, you might go down on the rear sprocket a little bit. But other than that, I think the approach is still the same. You've got to you obviously have to get the track down. You've never rode it before. You just got to see it the day before. So you got to jump all the rhythms, and then you got to get comfortable to where you can feel racy and be able to pass guys. So I think the general approach is it's the same.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about 2023. Obviously, a new team this year. I want to talk about that a bit, but let's talk a little bit about the point standings too, man. You're sitting there in fourth. You've been right around the podium all year long. You've been super consistent in the top five. What is it, like 6-7 points separate you from second place right now in the point standings? I mean, you guys got like a gridlock there, second, third, and fourth. I mean, how has this year been for you?
I guess if I was to sum up my year so far, I'd say I've been like an average Joe. Fifth, fourth, sixth, right in there, kind of. So for me, I'd really like to get a piece of that podium pie this weekend. That's a big thing. We've had a break, so I've been pretty motivated over the break to try to break into that next gap and to be a podium guy in that main event. So I'm just motivated to get there, and I think, with me being hurt the last two seasons right away, I think it was important for me this year to kind of take a step back and build slowly and not come hot out of the gate and, not make the season.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about the team. I know that was kind of one of the big things is your swap of teams this year, and I know that a lot came into that. I mean, it's not just going with the team. I mean, this team's got a training facility, a bunch of assets at their disposal. How did that play into the decision for you for who you signed with for 2023?
Yeah, so the big change and the decision really to go to Club MX was the fact that my last 2 years I've been hurt right away early in the series, and I just I wanted to change. Instead of just worrying about speed and whatever it took at all costs, I really wanted to have someone to work with me day in and day out on technique and on really gnarly, like rough tracks that are a lot like race conditions, and Club MX has that. I think for me, it was just taking a step backwards and being like, all right, we need to be able to make a full season here, and we need to build into it. And I felt like Club MX had the tools of the trade to make that possible and to be happy. And so far, we're getting better and better every weekend, and it's been a great relationship.
Well, I know, obviously we're kind of winding down Supercross. This year's a little bit different, you know what I mean, with the whole super motocross thing. But I know you've been doing some outdoors training. I mean, you feeling pretty good, with kind of Supercross winds down, looking into outdoors, how things are going to play out over the summer for you?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Outdoors, I would say I always refer to it as kind of like my bread and butter. I think it comes to me a little bit more naturally than Supercross. I have to really work at Supercross, and that's okay. But outdoors for me, it's a little bit longer. Fitness plays a little bit more of a role, and I just really have a good feel for outdoors, bike setup and everything like that. So I'm really looking forward to that with these guys, and that's I'd be lying if I said that wasn't my priority.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about some of the racing, and it's funny, obviously, you said you were just kind of average Joe this year. I go, yeah, average Joe that finds himself in the top 5 of Supercross week in and week out. But some of the competition, it's been kind of funny. I know I've seen some interviews, stuff like that, but I mean, it seems like you and Deegan have had quite a battle this year, and it seems like you guys are right there around each other. I mean, how's that been battling with one of these young and up and coming kids?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's funny you bring that up. I was, one of my goals this weekend coming into the deal is, Deegan and I've been swapping every other weekend. He beats me, I beat him, and we're pretty close in speed. So I tried to do my homework this last 3 or 4 weeks. So we'll see if I can beat Danger Boy Deegan here at Atlanta. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Well, and do you feel like the track? I mean, Atlanta. I feel like if there was a track that, you know what I mean. This, and you said you haven't been on the podium. I feel like this is the weekend, man. It's a track that with a little bit longer stretches, a little bit of the outdoors, bringing it indoors, so to speak. I feel like this might be the one where I hate to say a breakthrough because you've been around for a long time, but I feel like this might be the one where you get the monkey off your back.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to get the monkey off my back. I haven't won a race in Supercross in a long time now. So if we get the win tomorrow and we're going full on out, I think Club and we're gonna have an awful nice ride home there Saturday night.
Well, that being said, it's funny you say you haven't won a long time and stuff. It's like, gosh, I've been watching Supercross forever, and it's just like, I mean, you've been a staple, and I know I laugh because you're still, in general terms, a pretty young guy, but you're one of the veterans now. You got a lot of guys looking up to you, probably for advice and things like that. I mean, how have you seen in the last decade the sport change? I mean, we're talking about Deegan and the youth coming in and things like that, but I mean, you've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of changes, a lot of trends, a lot of riders come and go. I mean, you've had a very long career in Supercross terms so far, and I think you definitely still have, quite a few years left. But, what's the biggest changes you've seen in the last decade?
I think the biggest change I've seen is when I kind of started out, there wasn't really any training facilities. And then nowadays, you have guys that can go to Millsap's training facility. You have the Club MX training facility. There's just a lot of different facilities to try to get the best out of the rider to have a great career. And, like one thing I will say about Deegan is they've done a really good job of going to all these different facilities and learning, and Deegan has also been at Club MX. And I think with these guys, they get a lot of racers that have been there, done that over the years and learned from their mistakes. And those guys are training this new generation. And I just think it helps aid in having a longer career and making, helping with avoiding making those mistakes for sure.
Yeah, well, and I guess that was going to be my next question. You kind of alluded to it, but do you feel like, with the training programs in place and fitness, nutrition, there's so much that goes into it other than just riding a dirt bike, but it seemed like, and in eras past, Supercross riders specifically, but there was a shelf life, and you hit a certain age, and it was just like you almost time out, and maybe not because of skill set, but your body just went away. But do you feel like now with all the everything that's in place and what you guys know and the knowledge and the facilities, do you feel like guys can extend their career another 5 years that maybe in eras past just wasn't even doable?
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody in the motocross industry has also realized too, like technology has gotten better. Unfortunately injuries are a part of the sport, but like they're able to fix the bodies up better now than what they ever used to. And then as well as, I just think it's people are just doing, they're able to, be a little smarter with their training, maybe not overdo it as much. And then that promotes into having a longer career. And one that, if you avoid injuries, it helps aid in a longer career. And I think, it just goes to show, like, Carmichael and them would retire at the age of 25, 26. And Eli Tomac has 2 kids. He's married, and he's in the best form of his career, and he's 30 years old. I mean, it just goes to show you that age is just a number, and you can still be in your prime in your 30s or you're 33 or 34. It just depends if you're still motivated and you want to get up and improve every day.
So you guys have had a little bit of time off. Obviously, we got Atlanta. We backed that up with New Jersey, which is an East-West shootout for you guys. I mean, how do you approach this kind of final stretch here? And then obviously looking forward to outdoors. I mean, what's it going to take for you to obviously sit in fourth in the standings, jump up there to top 3?
I think for me at this point in my career, it's about just showing up on Saturday. I feel really good during the week. It's about putting the day together right, setting the tone, going out and practice, laying down good laps, getting comfortable. And when that gate drops, man, it's the old saying, the bullshit stops. So it's getting a good start and riding your race and doing, and getting on the podium. And hopefully, that'll get me up there further in the points.
Yeah, so I guess putting you on the spot, what's it going to take for you to find a top 3 or possibly a win this weekend at Atlanta?
Well, Hunter Lawrence has been on the tear so far this year on the East Coast. So I think for me, it's going to take a good start, and I've been nipping right there on the final step of a podium. So I think it's just going to take me to be a little bit better, a little 2% better on race day. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. I feel like I found a little bit of improvement on this little break that we've had. So we'll see if it shows off tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, Jeremy, I appreciate you taking the time, man. Enjoy the weekend, and let's hopefully see you here at the end of Saturday, I guess afternoon, not evening, but on the box, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and thanks for having me on, and have a good one.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Yep. See you.
And we'll be back to wrap things up on the Supercross Special here in a few minutes right here on the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki. When it's time to replace the tires on your vehicle, General Tire delivers the tires you need for both your next big adventure and your daily commute. Whether you need all-season traction, lasting tread wear, or a quiet drive, General Tires are designed to deliver whatever life brings your way. From all-season ultra-high-performance tires for passenger cars and crossovers to extreme all-season mud terrain and tires for light trucks and SUVs, General Tire delivers great performance. To find your ideal tire, visit GeneralTire.com. General Tire, official tire of the Jim Beaver Show. Looking to have some fun on 4 wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Don't just shred your way through any off-road rugged terrain. Get into gear with GSP XTV and let us redefine your adventure. The GSP advantage of quality and performance sets a standard for UTV axles. We strive to provide premium ATV and UTV axles to keep you shreddy ready. Kick up some dirt and get in the driver's seat with GSP XTV. With over 35 years of experience, drive with a company you can trust. Drive with GSP. For more information, please visit us at gspxtv.com today. Like what you're hearing? Do us a favor and head over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki and never miss another show. And welcome back here to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki. And big thanks to Jeremy Martin for coming on the show. Big thanks to Feld for keeping it locked and loaded every week with these Supercross specials. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Don't forget, General Tire now through the end of the month. Head over to the footnotes of the show. Click that link, and it'll tell you how to get up to $70 mail-in rebate on a qualifying set of General Tires with some of their biggest savings of the year now through the end of April. And, yeah. Well, big thanks to all of our partners, obviously Kawasaki, Vision Wheel, General Tires, we mentioned before, Dirtfish Rally School, GSP XTV Axles, Rigid Industries, iRacing. We've just got some amazing partners in this show. Belching Beaver, Clean Freak. Just support everybody and, man, keep it all in the family. Matt, Jim Beaver 15 on social media. Don't forget, we're going to start dropping the video format of these shows. I've already been doing the audio format, but the video format of these shows over there on YouTube. So give me a follow there as well as all my other forms of social media. Been dropping a bunch of stuff, quite a bit on YouTube, actually. Really have some fun stuff coming up. Active on TikTok as well, so I'm all over the place. Try and spread it around, but main channels are always Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, I don't know. What do I got going? Going to Vegas this weekend. Got a new race car to pick up. Mona Lisa has found a new home, so I got a new KRX race car to pick up. I got Electra build to finish. We're launching our television show. Man, it's going to be a packed next month or two. With me, also got a trip to Disneyland in the books. So, yeah, going to be a lot going on. But, yeah, thank you guys for the continued support. If you haven't already, head over to Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe to the show. Leave a rating or review. Helps us out. And mentioned YouTube. I don't know. What else am I forgetting? Oh, Jim Beaver 15 is our website. We're actually going to be launching an online store with a bunch of parts companies and stuff we deal with. So looking forward to that as well. But, yeah, I don't know. It's about enough rambling for this week. Thank you, guys. And we'll see you next time right here on the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki. And that's a wrap for this edition of the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Good Times by Kawasaki. Thanks for listening. Be sure and head to Apple Podcasts, subscribe to the show, and follow at Jim Beaver 15, at General Tire, and at Kawasaki USA on social media. Itching for more? JimBeaver15.com has all the latest. We'll see you next time.